Level 1. Trash tier. Tommy Wiseau, Jake Paul and Nicolas Cage, early 2000s era. Trash tier acting isn't about lack of fame, it's about lack of focus. It's where chaos outweighs craft, where performance turns into parody, and fame replaces talent. Tommy Wiseau, Jake Paul, and early 2000s Nicolas Cage sit at the bottom not because they weren't entertaining, but because they often seem to forget what acting is. Tommy Wiseau's The Room is cinematic anarchy.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are 10.
Wooden delivery, alien dialogue, and a performance that feels beamed in from another planet. It's so bad it transcends failure. Wiseau's charm comes from pure delusion. He made one of the worst movies ever and somehow turned it into a cult empire. Jake Paul represents the new face of trash tier fame.
Sorry, Kirk, but thanks to Paige, I'm not doing Dangerous Dares anymore.
A YouTuber turned actor whose performances feel like viral content stretched to 90 minutes. His film appearances, Airplane Mode, The Thinning, never escape the shadow of self-promotion. There's no transformation, no illusion, just Jake playing Jake for clicks. And then there's Nicolas Cage's early 2000s meltdown. Once a powerhouse, he spent years overacting his way through straight-to-DVD chaos like Ghost Rider and The Wicker Man. Not the Bees became a meme before memes even ruled the internet. Trash tier acting fascinates because it's fearless, but not in the way art demands. It's the performance of excess, not expression. Level 2, bad tier. Vin Diesel, Jared Leto, and Adam Sandler, early career. The bad tier isn't full of failures, it's full of missed potential. These actors have the tools, the looks, and the box office records. But somewhere between ego, repetition, and overexposure, the craft takes a back seat to the brand. Vin Diesel, Jared Leto, and early career Adam Sandler all built names larger than their performances, but not always for the right reasons. Vin Diesel's gravel-tone philosophy about family in Fast and Furious became both his trademark and his trap. What started as raw charisma turned into robotic self-parody. He can command the screen, yes, but when every line sounds like it's whispered through a car commercial, it's hard to see the man behind the meme. Jared Leto, meanwhile, is Hollywood's enigma. A method actor lost in the method. His transformation obsession, Suicide Squad, House of Gucci, Morbius, often overwhelms the story. His performances blur the line between genius and gimmick, like an actor so desperate for depth he digs a hole instead. Then there's Adam Sandler, the eternal goofball. Early hits like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore made him a comedy icon, but for years, he coasted on autopilot, sleepwalking through lazy Netflix scripts. Ironically, when he does focus, in Uncut Gems or Punch-Drunk Love, he's brilliant. But inconsistency keeps him grounded here. Bad tier actors remind us, skill without evolution isn't enough. You can coast on charm, but only for so long. Level 3, mid-tier. Chris Pratt, Ryan Reynolds, and Jason Statham. The mid-tier is where Hollywood's charm factories live. Bankable, likable, endlessly watchable. These are the guys audiences adore but critics rarely worship. Chris Pratt, Ryan Reynolds, and Jason Statham have one thing in common. They know exactly who they are on screen, and they never stray far from it. Chris Pratt went from lovable goofball in Parks and Recreation to galaxy-saving hero in Guardians of the Galaxy and Jurassic World. His transition was meteoric, but his range stayed anchored in one gear, the everyman action hero with perfect timing and boyish charm. Pratt's problem isn't talent, it's predictability. Every line feels like it could end with a wink at the camera. Ryan Reynolds perfected the art of being Ryan Reynolds. Whether he's cracking jokes as Deadpool, flirting in Free Guy, or outsmarting heists in Red Notice, it's always the same sarcastic grin and razor-sharp banter. He's self-aware, hilarious, and magnetic, but he rarely disappears into a role. He's a brand, not a character. Jason Statham, on the other hand, built an empire on stoicism and speed. From The Transporter to Fast and Furious, he's the cinematic definition of precision. Every punch lands, every glare counts. But vulnerability, almost never. The mid-tier is built on comfort, where audiences get exactly what they came for. No surprises, no reinvention, just reliable charisma, sold in bulk. Level 4. OK tier. Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, and Mark Wahlberg. The OK tier is where discipline meets dependability, the domain of actors who never truly fail, but rarely shock. These men are the beating heart of blockbuster Hollywood. They show up, deliver, and carry entire franchises through sheer force of will. Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, and Mark Wahlberg are proof that consistency can build empires, even if artistry takes a back seat. Keanu Reeves is Hollywood's paradox. Limited range, limitless devotion. From The Matrix to John Wick, his stoic minimalism became his superpower. He doesn't overwhelm the screen, he inhabits it quietly. What he lacks in emotional flexibility, he compensates with authenticity and effort. Reeves doesn't just act, he commits. Every stunt, every punch, every frame feels earned. Tom Cruise, meanwhile, is cinema's last true action star. His obsession with perfection borders on mania, hanging off planes, scaling skyscrapers, flying fighter jets for real. Mission Impossible became his religion, and discipline his doctrine. But the cost of control is spontaneity. Cruise is impeccable, but never unpredictable. A master technician, not a shapeshifter. Mark Wahlberg sits between both worlds.
Question. How fucked up are you? Family's all criminals except for the old man.
He's gritty, grounded, and relatable, whether in The Departed or Lone Survivor. But his work often feels mechanical, driven more by formula than emotion. He's good, just rarely great. The OK tier is built on trust. These actors won't blow your mind, but they'll never let a blockbuster sink. They are Hollywood's engine, steady, relentless, and unmistakably human. Level 5. Good tier. Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale, and Jake Gyllenhaal. The good tier is where commitment meets control, actors who fuse craft with intensity and make it look effortless. Leonardo DiCaprio, Christian Bale, and Jake Gyllenhaal have long since proven they're not here to pretend, they're here to transform. They don't just play characters, they burn through them. Leonardo DiCaprio spent decades evolving from heartthrob to heavyweight. His partnership with Scorsese alone, The Departed, The Wolf of Wall Street, Killers of the Flower Moon, defines modern prestige cinema. DiCaprio's power lies in his precision. No false note, no wasted glance. He's the rare actor who can make hysteria feel authentic and silence feel volcanic. Every performance feels like a lifetime condensed into 2 hours. Christian Bale, meanwhile, is transformation incarnate. He starved to 120 pounds for The Machinist, bulked up to 220 for Batman Begins, then shed it all again for The Fighter. Bale disappears so completely that you forget who he was before the camera rolled. He's not acting. He's embodying obsession itself. Jake Gyllenhaal is the quiet storm of this trio.
See is graphic and viewer discretion advised. Here's what we know.
Less mythic, more human. In Nightcrawler, Prisoners, and Enemy, he radiates intensity through restraint. He's unpredictable, magnetic, and quietly terrifying when he wants to be. The good tier isn't about fame, it's about control, where technique meets madness and every performance feels like it's carved, not filmed. Level 6, Great Tier, Denzel Washington, Joaquin Phoenix, and Gary Oldman. The great tier is where performance becomes presence, where acting stops feeling like acting and starts feeling like truth. Denzel Washington, Joaquin Phoenix, and Gary Oldman don't just play roles, they redefine them. Each carries a gravity that bends the screen toward them. You don't watch their characters, you believe them. Denzel Washington radiates authority.
Shoe program, nigga!
Every line he delivers lands like a verdict. Whether he's the righteous cop in Training Day, the tormented father in Fences, or the avenging angel in The Equalizer, Denzel doesn't just inhabit characters, he commands them. His mastery lies in restraint. Emotion simmers beneath the surface until it detonates. He's the definition of controlled power. Joaquin Phoenix, on the other hand, is chaos wrapped in vulnerability. Joker, Her, You Were Never Really Here. Every role feels like psychological excavation. He doesn't perform emotions, he lives them, even when they destroy him. Watching Phoenix is like witnessing a slow-motion breakdown that somehow feels sacred. And then there's Gary Oldman, the human chameleon.
Could have been given to our people.
From Sid Vicious to Winston Churchill, he's invisible inside his characters. You forget Gary exists, only the role remains. His method isn't about transformation, it's total erasure. The great tier is rarefied air. These actors don't need spectacle or scripts to shine. Their faces alone carry entire stories. When they speak, the world listens, not because of fame, but because of truth. Level 7, GOAT tier, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Daniel Day-Lewis. The GOAT tier is sacred. the summit of cinematic transformation where performance becomes mythology. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Daniel Day-Lewis aren't just actors, they're the architects of modern acting itself. Each has changed not only what audiences expect from a performance, but what actors dare to attempt. Robert De Niro is the embodiment of internal fire. In Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and Goodfellas, he turned silence into threat and stillness into violence. His method acting redefined commitment, learning real boxing for Raging Bull, driving a cab for Taxi Driver, gaining and losing 60 pounds for one role. De Niro taught a generation that truth on screen comes from total immersion. Al Pacino, meanwhile, is pure electricity. The Godfather, Serpico, Scarface, every performance thrums with danger and charisma. Pacino's genius lies in his rhythm. He builds slow, quiet, coiled until the explosion comes. No actor balances madness and majesty the way he does. When he's on screen, the air changes.
There it is. That's his true, you see. Watching.
And then there's Daniel Day-Lewis, the recluse, the perfectionist, the unreachable peak. From My Left Foot to There Will Be Blood, his roles feel less performed than possessed. He doesn't visit characters, he lives in them until he disappears. Day-Lewis isn't acting, he's channeling something elemental. The GOAT tier isn't just about legacy, it's about transformation so complete that time itself bends around it. These aren't performances, they're monuments. Some actors build careers, others become legends. They don't just perform, they possess the screen. Fame fades, box office numbers vanish, but true presence? That echoes forever. So forget who's trending. Ask who'll still haunt the frame when the credits roll. And if you thought this list was final, just wait.